Welcome to another episode of Drinking After Dark, a podcast where we discuss random topics while having a few drinks. I'm your host, Darius, and as always, drink responsibly. And y'all make sure y'all follow Drinking After Dark podcast on Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok. And don't forget to hit that thumbs up and subscribe to Drinking After Dark podcast YouTube channel. Tonight, I'm drinking on Crown and Coke. Yep, in a can. So that's what I'm gonna be drinking on tonight. I hope you guys been having, a great week, great weekend and everything like that. I know I've been gone for a little minute. I was working so many days straight. But here I am. There's a couple of topics I want to get into tonight. But also too, man, y'all know this weekend is gonna be a crazy weekend. NBA playoffs going on. Kentucky Derby is going on. We got three fight events. I guess that's how you could call it. Three fight events going on this weekend, right? Cinco de Mayo weekend. So it's a lot going on this weekend. And I know a lot of you guys gonna be partying. So if you do, please be responsible and everything like that. Um, I'm excited about this weekend. I don't know about you guys, but I know I'm excited about this weekend. All right, so let's get into this first topic. This actually topic that I'm gonna talk about. This question came up, I remember a few years ago, and somebody brought it back up on X, formerly known as Twitter. Basically, it's the 100 men versus one gorilla. All right. Uh, this question was brought up, and of course, there's been um, debates, talks, whatever, about this. Can 100, um, basically, it's 100 men versus one gorilla. Who will pretty much win? All right. And you got you got some people say the gorilla will win, some people say the men will win, due to the fact that a gorilla would get tired and everything like that. But the way I see it, why would anybody, even I don't care how many group of men, why would you even try to go after a gorilla? Now you gotta remember there's no weapons involved, so pretty much you just using nothing but your hands. All right. Um, and we all know a gorilla is 4 to 10 times stronger than an actual human, right? And not only that, but if you try to punch a gorilla, can you really hurt it? That's the question. Can you really hurt the gorilla? We all know gorillas, I mean, come on. Now we're talking about average men. We're not talking about, even with the strongest men in the world, we're talking about 6'8", 6'9", 300 plus, stuff like that. Even with that, it's kind of like, I don't know about that, right? Even if you get fighters or boxers and everything like that, I don't think you really want to mess with a gorilla. All right, especially they feel threatened. Um, I heard some people would say if you go like the first 20, first 25 will go after that gorilla. Here's my thing. I could see both sides of the argument. The gorilla would get tired. The question is, if that gorilla, know what, better yet, here's a better thing. We all know Joe Lewis, Joe Frazier, not Joe Lewis. Joe Frazier had the left hook, right? George Foreman, uh, two great legendary boxers, RIP to both. Um, George Foreman had like, I mean, like heavy hands, like just power. Like he didn't have to throw hard to hit you hard. I think that's what I'm trying to say. Imagine that, and a gorilla is like 10 times worse than that. Like if I see the first dude, I mean, get completely destroyed, why would more people go after that? Like now the gorilla's on high alert. The gorilla is like angry. And you gotta remember, you gotta go to their territory. A gorilla is not gonna come to us. I mean, outside of a zoo here, we're talking about here, like in America, outside of a zoo, like where exactly, you know what I mean? Even if you're in a zoo, if you're in their space, at first, they're gonna be a little cautious, they're gonna stand back, but then if they feel like they have to take action, they will. And I just I can't see 100 men in their right mind, to say, we're going to attack this gorilla. We're gonna go fight this gorilla. I just can't see it. I cannot see it at all because after the first, I'm telling you what's gonna happen. There's gonna be some casualties, I believe. And I don't think it's gonna come from the gorilla. I think it's gonna come from the actual humans. And if I see that, I'm gonna be honest with you. Ain't no way I'm going to that gorilla. That gorilla's already pissed as is. I'm not gonna mess with it. I'm not gonna get in front of it. Why would I want to do that? I have no idea. But it's something that it's a great talk. It's a great discussion piece, no doubt about it. But I just can't see a gorilla losing. Because you gotta think, gorillas fight other gorillas. And if you see how they manhandle other gorillas, right? It's kind of like, and how much does the average gorilla weigh? Way more than um way more than a human. Hold on. But but yeah, I just can't see myself going against a gorilla. I just can't do it. So let's just say, okay, adult male gorillas, um, particularly silverbacks, can weigh anywhere from 300 to 500 pounds. Okay. But we also talking about how much stronger they could. If anybody who is in like the professional weightlifting business or athletes who go lift weights, um, they say that a gorilla could pretty much lift 10 times his weight. And you got to think about the force that a gorilla will have in terms of, even just doing this, how much force is behind it. They got teeth, so I don't know. I don't know who will be in their right mind to go fight a gorilla. I think you out your mind if you do it. But, it was a topic. Um, if I got to choose, my money's on the gorilla because for this reason, I believe animals are smarter than I think what a lot of humans give them credit for. Especially if you're going into their territory. They know their territory. They know what they're going to do and this and that. And if you're going to attack, I think they will retreat. Um, but if they have to fight, I think it's going to be. I don't think it'll be good for the men against the gorilla. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. So my money is on the gorilla. Y'all let me know in the comments, man, what y'all think about that. Uh, again, they brought this question came up. I remember they did it years ago. They brought it back again. Like my money's still on the gorilla. That's just me. Um, but I do see if a gorilla does get tired, I can see where the humans will have the advantage of it. But that's if the gorilla gets tired. Right? We ain't talking about a human being going on a one-on-one fight, right? Excuse me, a one-on-one fight, and all of a sudden it's like You can see two guys get into a fight and they get tired pretty quick, right? That's why I always admired like boxers, because to be able to be in that kind of shape while still throwing punches and moving around a ring and stuff like that, I admire that, because a lot of people don't know, fighting somebody would take a lot out of you and stuff like that. So I don't know if they were able to do this, which they, let's just say hypothetically, they put it on TV, 100 men versus a gorilla. I could see where the gorilla will get tired, but also it just depends on how quickly he could get rid of the first 20, right? Is it gonna be like like 20 versus one, five separate times, or is it gonna be like um all 100 at once? Which I don't see how that could happen, because everybody's trying to fight for position to get the gorilla, and I don't know. I'm just trying to think this over in my head, how this would go. But as of right now, I'm picking the gorilla over the 100 men. Um, all right, y'all. So let's get into this next topic. Before we go any further, man, remember, please uh hit that like button. Please subscribe to the channel. Also, remember, follow Drinking Up the Dark podcast on Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok. All right, we got to talk about this next story. Shannon Sharp is back, headlines again. Um, he is fighting a lawsuit. It's a $50 million lawsuit. He has taken a step back from his role at ESPN, um, which was pretty much a part-time role anyway. On First Take, he was there for how many days? Like the first couple of days out of a week. Obviously, he's still doing Nightcap, Club Shay Shay. Um, remember the first time the IG Live things went, him on there, people was trying to get a hold of him and stuff like that. Really didn't work, and he had to apologize for that. And now, not not that was it. It was only like a few months ago that happened. Like a few months, some it wasn't that long ago. Now we got the lawsuit that took place. We have the lawsuit that took place, and let's just get into the details of it all. Okay. Um, and we're just talking about the lawsuit. I know there was some other things um that came out, I guess, at his time at Fox Sports. Um, so apparently this lawsuit came from an OnlyFans model. Apparently, uh, she was like 19, 20 years old, and I guess according to the lawsuit, it was sexual assault. Between twice between October of last year and January of this year. Um, Basically, it wasn't. She's claiming it wasn't consent. He claiming it was. He did show messages, so he already had that stuff in the bag and everything. He did come out and make a statement on his platform. Uh, but it's not necessarily the lawsuit. It's the fact that you have a man who's in his mid-50s, and he's around 56 years old. Why are you messing with young girls? Like I don't. It's I'm not understanding this. You're 56 years old. You're messing with a OnlyFans model, apparently, uh, who has I don't know where this girl mind. Well, she's doing OnlyFans, so you know where her mindset is. Is it the fact that you're what I don't understand all of this. I couldn't imagine myself being 56 being with a 20-year-old. I just can't. Okay. I just can't do it. It's just me. Monique was on this show Club Shay Shay and basically told him you don't need to be with no young girls. You need to be with a woman your age. And Cat Williams pretty much warned him as well on the same platform. And now you start seeing all this stuff coming out. Um, I know he want to take a time. He took time away from ESPN, but not from his platforms, which I feel like he probably should have did too. I get it. You have Nightcap, you have Club Shay Shay. Um, but at this moment, for me, I think you just need to go quiet. I think personally, after reading everything, I think he will beat this lawsuit. I think this girl was just money hungry, trying to extort money from him. I don't know. Uh, I guess allegedly he offered a settlement, which settlements don't necessarily mean guilt. It just basically means they just wanted you to go away and not have this problems, and all that stuff. But still, still, um, that's what happened. Uh, he always talked about the females that he wants to be with. Um, he doesn't need to be with women his own age. Settle down. Why at 56? Why you want this drama? Why do you want this drama at 56? If you're in your mid 20s, I understand it. Mid 20s, I get it. But even then, it's kind of like, why do you want that stuff? Why do you want that drama? I don't understand it. I'm 37, I'm married, and I don't want that drama. You know what I mean? So I don't really understand it. But let me see. He did offer, I guess, Sharp's attorney, Lenny Davis, basically said Sharp did offer $10 million to settle, but uh the accuser declined. And let me see. I think they revealed her name. I forgot her name. I'm trying to see what was her name. I know they revealed the picture of. And first off, I seen the picture of this young lady, and I'm gonna tell you right now, that was not worth whatever he was trying to do. I don't know if Shannon Sharp is a freak like that, but he always talking about he always wanted the. I think who's the one girl, adult entertainer. He always saying he wanted. Like I guess he really. What's her name? Miss B Nasty. That's who it is. Miss B Nasty. I'm like I guess he likes. I don't know. He likes what he likes. He's grown. He can do whatever he wants to do as long as it's two consenting adults. No problem. But this is the issue you kind of run in with, and you saw what happened with Jonathan Majors, his situation, which people kind of ousted him for, which everything was caught on tape, and now he's able to move on and everything like that. Look at Shannon Sharp revealing text messages and all that stuff, which is kind of creepy, and stuff like that. I think, but that's something that you that type of talk, man. You talk to your woman about with, you do that type of talking with. Um, but yeah, I just think that Shannon Sharp, man, just come on, man, get you a woman your age. I'm not saying you have to like marry the woman, but man, at least be with a woman who's have the same mindset as you. At your age, she don't want the drama, she just want a relationship, a good, great relationship, not necessarily have to lead to marriage, any stuff like that. I think I mean, even Chad was like, hey, Chad Ochocinco on Nightcap, his co-host. I'm thinking like everybody's telling you this is what you should do. I mean, you as a man, you can do whatever you want to do, right? Especially as a single man, you ain't married, you're not in a committed relationship. You can do whatever you want to do. But when stuff like this happen, now you get all this talk like, man, they trying to warn you. They're trying to warn you. And they did. They did. So now I think this is the hopefully this is will be good for him in the sense that he can't, at his age, yes, he's a man with know, quite a bit of money out there. You talking about what he's doing with his own platform and how he built that up, which is amazing. Club Shay Shay, Nightcap, which I still watch. I watch Nightcap more so I do Club Shay Shay. Um, that's just me personally, but I just think that him taking a step back from ESPN, from I mean, we all know ESPN is owned by Disney, so they gotta keep a certain um reputation. I know with his own platform, I know he has sponsorship deals. I don't know how that stuff is going right now. I know he had a deal with Boost Mobile. We don't know that situation. Um, if you ever watched it, you saw Chad covering up the sign with his jersey. Hopefully he get everything back. Hopefully everything will clear his name. But there were reported more allegations from his time at Fox Sports and all of that. But if you got receipts, this is important, man. I think that's why Shannon was able to come out with it because if you kept receipts, right? You keep your receipts. Now it's like, okay, at first people like, man, he all this, that, and the third. But then, quick response came out, show receipts. Obviously, when you're dealing with sponsors and everything like that, they're a little leery of stuff like that. So they like, we're gonna back off till things die down. But uh I think the biggest point is for me, Shannon, mess with women your own age. That's all it is. Get you a career woman. A woman that, she might not have the money that you have, but she still has enough to where she could do whatever she want to do with no problems financially. Get you a woman who has the same mindset as you. I'm not saying this woman has to be mid 50s, but she could be like early 50s, or even like late 40s, like 48, 49. Who knows, right? Um, so that's why I just felt like this should be a wake-up call for him. And I think if he meets that right woman, you know, this one woman, one woman, man, you don't need to be messing around with all these young girls at your age. I don't know if you're trying to prove the fact that you still, you feel young. I mean, you could feel young all you want to, but the realization is you're 56 and you probably need to be with somebody around your age. So just my thought on all of this. Um, but yeah, I just think that he's gonna, excuse me, I think he's going to I think everything is on his side when it comes to this lawsuit. Um, and I mean it's crazy. It's crazy, but it is what it is, and hopefully he'll get past this. I know he's talking about coming back to ESPN. at the start of the NFL preseason, uh, which will be the last topic that we're going to talk about. Another big topic since I've been away is Shador Sanders. Shador Sanders, obviously, um, great quarterback. Started his college football career at Jackson State HBCU. Pretty much put that, him, Travis Hunter, his dad, who was his coach, Deion Sanders, pretty much put that, school on the map and everything. Uh, Obviously, if you saw previous episodes where I talked about how, you know, small schools can't really keep a coach. I'm not talking just strictly HBCUs. I'm talking about just like smaller schools, whether it's any sport out there. Once they have a great season, um, bigger schools with more money is going to come and get them. And even though they might have a contract, obviously they got to buy out their contract just to go. So usually the school will buy them out to have them sign a new contract with them. Um, they went to all three of them. I think it was even more, but Coach Deion Sanders, his son Shador, um, Travis Hunter, and I think Shiloh too, but they all went to Colorado. And the first season, the first year started off great, but didn't end so great. We all knew it was gonna be a process, but this past season, uh they they you know, was a lot better. A lot better. With the NFL draft that just took place, Travis Hunter obviously went number two, Jacksonville, and Shador Sanders, which was the biggest talk throughout the NFL draft, right? He was projected to go top five. Then it went from top five to okay, still first rounder, middle to late first round. Then it went to early second round. Shador dropped all the way to the fifth round to the Cleveland Browns. And the quarterback they drafted in front of him, be honest, I'm gonna be honest with you, who they drafted in the third round is not better than Shador. Um, I think a lot of it had to do with the fact that he is kind of like his father. Deion Sanders, known as prime time. If some of you were fortunate enough to see him play, not only in college at his time at Florida State, but also when you look at what he did in the NFL, Atlanta Falcons, you look at the 49ers, Dallas Cowboys, um, Baltimore Ravens, you know, multiple Super Bowl champions, all and also too, Deion Sanders, uh, also one of the greatest athletes out there. Played on the highest level, football, baseball, played in the majors. So we could have that debate, who's the greatest athlete? People will say Bo Jackson, some people say Deion Sanders. It's I guess his qualification is you played at least two different sports on the highest level. I guess that's what I see. But fell all the way down to the fifth round, I guess because interviews wasn't too good. People called him cocky and all that stuff. Um, just had this, I guess, his personality that they didn't like. Um, which in the NFL, the quarterback position is treated way differently than any other position. They put you on a high pedestal when you're the quarterback of a team, whether it's college, whether it's the NFL. You have to act like a certain way, which is crazy to me, right? It's crazy to me that all these other players can act one way, but you as a quarterback have to act this way. No, I want a quarterback with a little bit of attitude. I want to add now. It's one thing to be, you know, confident. It's another thing to be arrogant. Things like that. But if you mean to tell me the quarterbacks that was drafted outside of Cam Ward, take Cam Ward off the board. Okay, he went number one. But you mean to tell me all the other quarterbacks after Cam Ward that was drafted before Shador is better than Shador? This helped me understand that. So we know this wasn't a football thing, right? People now I hate when the fact that you have analysts on TV talking about well his play didn't stand out when you're the same people that had him going in the first round, even in the top five. I don't like that. We all know this wasn't a football thing. It was a personality thing. They did not like him. They talking about they didn't want to deal with his dad. His dad gonna be busy at Colorado. Okay, dad gonna be busy. Ain't like his dad just home chilling, doing this, doing that. Dad is busy. Dad did his job, got his son to the NFL. Like he got other priorities right now. Okay, I think Shador is going to a lot of team. And first off, for him to go to Cleveland, well, as bad as that situation is, come on now. I mean, they gave Deshaun Watson all that money guaranteed. Look how that turned out. Um, who was it? Joe Flacco was a bright spot. I'm not gonna sit there and lie. When he came in, led that team to the playoffs. I think they won a playoff game, if I'm not mistaken. I felt like this is just me personally. I felt like the Steelers should have drafted Shador Sanders because you let not only Russell Wilson walk, but you let Justin Fields walk, and then you bring back um who was the quarterback that was there a few years that didn't work. What was his name? I forgot. And this is my team too. I forgot. They brought him back. I'm like, what are you doing? I guess waiting on Aaron Rodgers. Why? You can't trust Aaron Rodgers right now. Can't do it. But he's going to a situation, Sador Sanders is, where I think maybe this could be a great spot for him. We don't know yet. We got to wait to see things play out. Um, I think he will definitely be on the team. I also believe that the fans want him on the team because they look at him like, hey, with the quarterbacks that we have right now, he might be our best option. Let's grow. Let's get this guy. You know, probably midway through his rookie year, put him out there because honestly, nobody's gonna see the Browns do anything this year. I mean, in that division, it's as tough as that division is. You have the Ravens, Steelers, Bengals. You gotta remember, there's four teams in the division. The Browns gonna be last place anyway. Might as well start building up these players right now. All the young players, get them playing time right now so they can grow. Because we don't know how long the Steelers is going to be at the top of the division. We know Cincinnati is coming. If they had a defense, we all know that situation would have been a lot different. We know Baltimore is in a way that I mean, usually it's Baltimore versus Pittsburgh in their division. We all know Baltimore is the king of the division right now with Lamar Jackson, Derrick Henry out there. So, but I think Shador would, well, all the teams that passed him up, even with the team he was drafted to, because they really didn't want him. I think he's going to have people regret that decision, right? He's in good company. He's in good company. I mean, you got players who were drafted in the later rounds. First person come to my mind, Tom Brady. Tom Brady, nobody saw the greatest quarterback ever drafted where he was. Nobody saw that because where he was drafted, you saw his. If y'all go back, watch his combine and everything. I mean, come on, man. He really couldn't run. I mean, wasn't really athletic, but guess what? He had this. He was in a great situation, Bill Belichick, and he put Bill Belichick and unfortunately the quarterback who was starting, I forgot his name. He got hurt. Tom Brady came in, and the rest was history, right? We saw Russell Wilson drafted in the third round, came in as a rookie. Guess what he did his rookie year? He won the starting position his rookie year with Seattle. And you know what happened? He delivered a Super Bowl. Now, granted, that team was loaded. They had a running back. They had one of the greatest defenses in the history of the league. All they needed was a stable quarterback. He was that guy. Should have been back-to-back Super Bowl champions if it wasn't for that play call. Nobody still don't understand why that play call happened, but it happened. So you have that. I mean, come on, man. Shador, I believe Shador will make an impact not only for the Cleveland Browns and that organization, but the city of Cleveland. And if he delivers, I mean, come on. One thing you got to have is a quarterback in the NFL. Now, if you don't have a quarterback, you better make sure you have all the pieces around the quarterback, right? You think about the 49ers with Brock Purdy. Nobody's saying he's an elite quarterback, but his play with the team surrounding him, right, got them all the way to the Super Bowl. Probably should have beat the Chiefs. They outplayed the Chiefs in the Super Bowl, yet they still lost. Again, I don't think it was Brock Purdy's fault. That's just my decision. I think it was the coach's fault. But um, yeah, even Brock Purdy, Mr. Irrelevant. That's a great example. So Shador has this, he has the advantage. Why? Because a lot of people are doubting him, right? Go out there, prove it, and a lot of these GM, and here's the thing, I hate anonymous um quotes or anonymous uh executives come out there saying what they say. No, put your name behind it. Let people know who you are. Because the problem is that if you put it out there, right, say, oh, this is anonymous, and then this guy goes out and really balls, you need to be the person to put your name on it so people can say, yeah, we can't trust your opinion no more. We can't do it. Can't trust your opinion anymore. That's all I'm saying. So I hope when Shador gets opportunity, I hope he balls out because I'm rooting for him. And if you like me, I know you probably rooting for him too. All right. I think it was crazy what was done to him. And I think he's gonna make a lot of people pay. And I think this is gonna be the motivation. If they would have said he was a third round draft pick to begin with, no problem. No problem. You say he was a third rounder, cool. But if you had him in the top five, and you basically saying who was gonna be number one between him and Cam Ward, and Shador drops all the way to the fifth round, oh yeah, it was some BS going on. It was definitely some BS going on, and I truly believe it. So that's all I'm saying. All right. All right, y'all, man. Thanks for tuning in with me tonight. Um, Happy to be back. Like I said, I was working so many days straight and everything like that. But um I'm back. Also, too, man, I know there's a lot of stuff going on this weekend. So please be safe. If you're gonna go out, please be responsible, be safe. You know, I can't stress that enough. All right. Also, remember to follow Drinking After Dark podcast on Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok. Please hit that like and subscribe to Drinking After Dark podcast YouTube channel, and tell your friends and family about this podcast, man. And show all the love in the world, man. Show all the love in the world. Also, too, man, if y'all have any ideas or any suggestions where I should try drink on, please let me know. Um, I'll give it a shot, man. I'll give it a try. All right. Till next time, I'm Darius from Drink from After Dark. We out. Peace.